when you're ready to get it popping, and when we mean get it popping, we know what we mean. What wrestling theme music would you use to get it popping?
I'm going first. Yeah, well, it's the big show.
I don't think we topping that one. I don't think we topping that one.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit.
Hey.
Oh, shit. I was supposed to follow that. On that note, no, we ain't topping.
I'm going with no chance. That's no chance of that.
Oh, my God. So...
Greetings and salutations. I would like to welcome everybody back and some of you for the first time to the Full Sport Press Podcast, the premier sports podcast for the consummate sports fan. And this is your one-stop shop for all sports-related news and topics. I am J.O.
It's your boy Big Jeff.
Weezy in the building. Say what's up. We said.
What it do?
Big B's. Coach like back in the building. Say what's up, Cal.
What's happening? He said Big B's. Goodness gracious. That's what you doing, Weezy?
No more YG for the podcast.
No more.
YG.
No more. Goodness gracious, man.
Yeah.
How y'all boys doing, man?
Doing great, Coach. How you doing, brother?
Man, I can't complain, man. Good weekend time.
Weezy, you know they can see you, right?
It'll be all right.
It'll be all right, is what he said. Okay.
Yeah.
Put your whole Weezy in the camera. Like, what's it about?
Yeah. Yeah, no, but you don't know what the hell is wrong. Weezy. Episode 338. We're closing out the NBA playoffs with the winners and losers of the 2020 NBA bubble playoffs.
FSP style.
Always FSP style.
Better damn know it.
Better damn believe it.
Let's kick it off, Jeff. Best of the week. What you got, buddy?
Man, I finally finished that 50 Cent book, man. Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. It's a good read, man. I've been procrastinating, finished a lot of books this year. I started about 5 or 6. Hoping this get my momentum going. I can finish some stuff up, man. It was a pretty good read. Shout out to 50 Cent, man. It's a good read.
Heard you. Shout out to 50. What you got, Weezy? Best of the week.
This week's best of the week for me was the had a little battle in the city, man, between two local rappers, and it took me back a little bit. I had a good time, man. Had a party in my own house. Had a good time. It was a good show.
A little bit of nostalgia, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Most definitely. Lock, what you got?
Travis Scott, man, he tweeted that he would take care of 5 kids' first semester tuition. That tweeted him. He put that on his Twitter, and then he followed up by saying that you must be attending an HBCU for them to do it. So, he's going to take care of 5 lucky kids' college tuition for the first semester. So that's what's up from Travis Scott. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Astro World Travis Scott for sure. My best of the week is Russell Westbrook, man. On his way out of the NBA bubble in Orlando, Florida, Westbrook wanted to show his appreciation for the housekeepers at the Grand Floridian Hotel. He did that with an $8,000 tip, man. Said they did such a great job over those 80 days that he was in the bubble. Well, a little shorter for him. He was there probably right around 60. They did such a great job. He wanted to put a tip out there for the cleaning crew. So shout out to Russell Westbrook for sure. Here's the thing. I like Russell Westbrook, the human being, very similar to a lot of people, like LeBron James. It's his fans. It's his fans that rub me the wrong way for sure.
Oh, just say it's me. Just say it's me.
That's fans. It's just not you. No, it's fans. It's the Westbrook Legion of fans are a sick bunch of people. Sick.
They called him sick.
Yeah.
What are the Steph Curry fans?
Yes. We're all rule breakers.
Yeah.
That's worst of the week.
Yeah, worst of the week.
I'm already talking. I'll knock mine out. Yeah. My worst of the week, man, is I'm going to say, I think, Jay, you can agree with me on this. Lock, I know you can agree with me. Weezy, even you. It's supposed to be homecoming this weekend. Supposed to be homecoming this weekend.
Homecoming, the only homecoming.
The only homecoming that matters.
Jeff, I wish I had something to pull out for you.
those of us that went to the land of the golden sunshine, this is supposed to be our homecoming weekend. And
here's the question: would we be recording this?
No.
Nah.
You ain't got to finish the question. No,
Hell no.
we would have had a week off.
You knew the answer to that question before you even got yourself together to say that.
Took me a while to say it. I tell you that.
We would have had a week off. Duh.
Weezy, what you got? Worst of the week.
My worst of the week was the Lakers, man. I actually walking off the court before the game was over the other night. I didn't like that. And I'm a LeBron James fan, and that didn't sit well with me. You just don't do that. You don't do that. That's two things LeBron did. Maybe I didn't like the way he sat down the court. When they won the conference finals. They're doing the ceremony. He sat down on the court. Everybody
that was a little weird.
like that, man.
Oh, watch when they close out tonight. Watch what he do tonight.
Yeah, I would say I understand that one because he knows it's unfinished business. He like this is not what we here for.
But he'll stand up and talk. You ain't got to sit down.
He did that before.
Now you ain't seen nothing yet. Watch how you act a fool tonight. He gonna
shake it tonight, boy. You better believe that.
What you got, Coach?
Man, I got a little gym experience, man. I was in the gym working out, and they got the cable machines that you can do add the extensions to or the attachments to. So this Caucasian lady is on one side of it, and she's using one of the attachments. And the attachment I want to use is on the floor. So I walk up to her, say, hey, can I use the attachment right there? Like, no, you're not even using the attachment. But I'm about to use it. But you can't use both attachments at the same time. I said, oh, okay. So I politely just grabbed it and walked away and went and did it anyway.
Oh, God. I knew you did something like that. I thought
man. She started getting all loud. I'm like, oh, no. And this I know what's wrong because it was a couple other guys there that were Caucasian also. And they just started laughing. And then she kind of walked away and they said, man, don't even worry about it. She done that to about 3 different people before. He's like, she got me like that one time. She was like, I don't know what's wrong with her. I said, I wasn't worried about it. That's why I just grabbed the attachment. Shout out to her.
Shout out to her for sure. Definitely worst of the week. My worst of the week is Madden 21. They added Giannis Antetokounmpo to the game, but still hadn't fixed the franchise. We don't need Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's a spoiler alert. We don't need that. What we need is a way that we can see a damn playoff tree of who's potentially playing in the playoffs. Fix that first before you put a basketball player into a football game. Dumbasses.
Mm-hmm. I agree. There's never played football at that.
I mean, come on, man. If it was LeBron, it would kind of make sense. You want to play in the yard, I get that. But, bro, we need some stuff really fixed in Madden, dude. The juke don't work the way it worked. Where the juke at? Where the juke at?
In 2020 Madden?
Fix the juke.
And all his brothers, too, not just Giannis. All his brothers.
It's the whole damn Antetokounmpo family.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Why are they playing football?
It's they have this thing.
Stat of the week. Shout out to Coach Penny for this fun. It's a collaborative effort. Before we recorded this podcast, I was asking Weezy, hey Weezy, you want to bet that the Lakers would go in a gentleman's sweep against the Miami Heat? So here's the reason why. The Lakers round 1 series results versus the Blazers, gentleman's sweep, 4-1. The Lakers round 2 series results versus the Rockets, 4-1. The Lakers round 3 series results versus the Nuggets, 4-1. And the Lakers finals results right now against the Heat, it's 3-1. You know how old Kobe Bryant was when he passed away?
We doing one of those? Are we doing that?
41.
I know.
41.
We doing that today? Okay.
4-1 throughout the entire playoffs. Lakers in 5. Let's go home.
Is this like that Tupac, the 7-day theory? 7 days later,
hey, Jeff, you respect this.
For 7 days.
Jeff, you respect this. It was written.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. Yeah. Who album is that, Weezy? All right. So make sure y'all check us out on iTunes, Facebook, IG, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, Beyond Pod, YouTube, and of course, the SoundCloud page to catch up on the past episodes of FSP. How do you do that? Just search Full Sport Press Podcast. When you get through doing that, make sure you check out the On Deck TV Hip Hop Podcast with Animal Brown and Spike Lee every Wednesday. The latest issue is up, the 21 Savage Mode 2 album review. Have you guys listened to that 21 Savage album?
Not really.
I have. Yeah, no, for sure. Shout out to Savage Mode, man.
I like 21 Savage. I was actually asking where 21 Savage was, and then 2 weeks later got an album trailer with Morgan Freeman's voice on it. Then got the album, so I'm not mad at it, man. Shout out to 21.
Morgan Freeman's fire.
Yeah.
Is the album good? Y'all listen? I mean, is it good?
Hey, Weezy, how much did they pay Morgan Freeman for that?
Shh. They say about 100. That's what they say.
I think it was on the house.
Really? Why? Why would it be on the house? The house?
He got
21 though.
For that.
Because you see a young black dude just doing something, he want to appeal to a different audience. Free promotion, Jeff. Ain't nothing like free promotion, dog.
Nothing like free promotion. Nobody gonna take the easy joke, easy corny joke. Nobody gonna do it.
What's that?
Pay them 21. 21.
All right, Fresher Than Your Average podcast, man. Feature myself, tough crowd, and Animal Brown is a self-help fashion podcast directly related to improving everyday fashion. We have a new FTYA IG live show, FTYA Fridays, featuring Animal Brown, because he's got mail, for sure, analyzing the copper drops for this month's biggest sneakers. Pull up on us on the IG page directly for the culture. Wear your kicks, cop responsibly. Also, we are unveiling the Realville Family Patreon. You can support the team starting October the 18th. Patreon will feature Full Sport Press, On Deck TV, Fresher Than Your Average, and much, much more, man. Be on the lookout October the 18th. Stay tuned for more details. Shout out to the guys. Shout out to AB. He's been copping, man. He's been copping good.
He don't mind letting you know it either. He don't mind letting you know he copping.
For sure.
Mr. Copper. Told you.
Yeah, he's on fire right now. We all have our high points. You ran all of 2019. Chris has been 2020. Everybody ain't able. Everybody
I ain't never been nothing. I ain't never been nothing.
Shit, me neither.
Hey, I was waiting for Copper Drop. Today there's a couple of releases this weekend. I was wondering what y'all think about those, but I guess I need to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, just wait on that, Jeff. Wait on that.
Okay, I was just wondering what we was doing this weekend.
Yeah, no, so we good. Skip, just to let you know.
All of them?
Every last one of them. Nah, I'm joking.
We'll talk off camera.
Yeah, for sure. Jeff, you got 10 good wrestling segments.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start the clock.
All right, man. Okay, so tonight, it's a big night in the wrestling world. It's draft night. WWE draft is tonight. It's going to be on SmackDown Live. Everybody's up for grabs. All 3 shows from SmackDown to Raw to NXT can be drafted. You could be drafted from one show to the next, even if you're a champion. Nobody's off limits, even announcers. Somehow they've made this a big thing, and it works. It worked for one night. Everybody cares about, not everybody. I mean, it goes against the finals. But, tonight is the draft, 3 rounds. Yeah, 3 rounds per show. Each 3 shows per round. So it's going to be pretty fun, man. You can see what the number 1 pick is, see where they're going. My odds is on Drew McIntyre switching from Raw to SmackDown, but we'll see. And then also on this week's episode of 808s and Chair Shots, co-host Neek was asking me some pretty wild questions that people were asking about the show. So I'm going to take one and just see what y'all would think, right? So people can tune in and check this out. The one question he asked, when you're ready to get it popping, and when we mean get it popping, we know what we mean. What wrestling theme music would you use to get it popping?
I'm going first. Well, it's the big show.
I don't think we topping that one. I don't think we topping that one.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit.
Hey.
I was supposed to follow that.
On that note, no, we ain't topping it.
I'm going with no chance. That's what no chance in that.
Oh my God. So keep submitting your questions, man. We had a good time on the show going over some of those last week. Make sure you tune in each and every Thursday. 808s and chest shots. Give you a wrestling fix, man. You might not like it, but your auntie love wrestling.
That's funny.
Ooh, yeah, man. Tweet us
That's
with
funny.
questions. Not those questions. Throughout the week at Full Sport Press. Don't forget to comment. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the YouTube page. On the iTunes page, please rate and subscribe. But more importantly, man, don't forget to tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
That the revolution will be podcasted. And before we get started with the first half, Weezy, do you have a yellow box of Cheerios award recipient for the listeners?
I do. This week's award recipient is Seattle Seahawks, Jamal Adams.
It is, for sure. Jamal Adams posted and then deleted a photo of himself watching the game in a Week 4 matchup against the Dolphins with his helmet on, arms crossed behind his back, and what appeared to be a rolled joint sitting on a coffee table. Now, the two-time Pro Bowler, Jeff's favorite safety, reposted the photo in the same pose with the apparent joint no longer visible. Now, though many social media users have already screenshotted and posted the original image on everybody's page. NFL players can no longer be suspended for marijuana following the latest round of CBA negotiations. And FYI, marijuana is also legal in the state of Washington for anyone over the age of 21 at an out-of-state or in-state store. Washingtonians can purchase up to 1 ounce of usable marijuana at a time. Also, FYI, prior to the new CBA, the NFL had the harshest punishments of any major American sport with regards to marijuana. Players will instead face a small fine if their blood test indicates more than 150 nanograms of THC. Jamal Adams, though, listen, man, you got to know what's going on, man. No, you know you got the blunt right there. Put the blunt up, Jamal.
He's shaking it. He's shaking it. We're going to get that out to him, though.
We got to.
We're going to get that out to him, Brian.
That is the definition of the yellow box. Wish it was a yellow box that would pop up here.
That yellow box is rough, man.
Yeah.
Then a picture of Jamal Adams should pop up here. Spoiler alert. You guys ready to get started the first half?
Sure.
Yeah. Please.
The first half is underway.
First half, the hottest sports news of the past week, like we do each and every week here at the Full Sport Press Podcast. Before we get started, I am J Ho.
It's your boy Big Jeff.
It's your boy Weezy. What it do?
It's your man, Coach Lock.
Lock, where can they find you on social media, my brother?
Man, they can check me out on Twitter and IG at Lock_the_great. That's THA. Get at me.
Yeah. Let's see, Weezy, where you at?
I'm FSP_Weezy on IG, and I'm at How Weezy on Twitter. Holla at me.
Sure. And Jeff, what about you, my brother?
J Easley 84 across all social media platforms.
That's not true, Jeff. You KOS by Jeff Easley on Twitter. Did you know that?
No, it's just the name. Just the head name. When you search my name, it's J Easley 84.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's a fake laugh, Jeff.
That
Here's it going.
that was-
Weezy, you are back with another week of 3 and Out. How you feeling this week, brother?
I'm feeling pretty good. I think I got some pretty good. I got pretty good 3. We'll see how it goes.
All right, let's get it.
All right, I asked for 5, Coach, but they gave me 3. But here we go. 2 0-3 teams got their first win this week. The rookie, Joe Burrow, Jay's favorite player, threw for 300 yards in the first win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Carson Wentz, with a next man up team, beat the 49ers this week. Hey.
I don't like that ways.
And guess what? The Eagles have a chance. The Eagles are winning the division right now in the NFC East. They're winning that division. Believe that. Number 2, guess who's back, Jay? Odell Beckham Jr. Odell Beckham Jr. had a hell of a game, man. I think Jeff know that firsthand. He had 2 touchdowns. And now he had three touchdowns, 2 catching and 1 rushing. Number 3, somebody threw for 27. I'm sorry. Somebody threw 27 for 33. 324 yards and 4 touchdowns. Who was it?
Josh Allen.
No.
Yeah, 3 picks in there. That was Josh Allen.
Dak Prescott.
Nah.
Russell Wilson.
Nah. It was Aaron Rodgers, man.
Yeah.
Hey, did y'all watch that game Monday night? Did it look like he was just playing with those guys?
Yeah.
It looked real easy.
Yeah.
And that was it. So that's my 3 and out this week. I got a bonus. Y'all hear one more? I got a bonus.
Nah, we only got you 3, big dog.
I need one more.
Nah, 3 and out. That's another.
Look down, you punting, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Get
Yeah.
away.
So get off the field.
On 3rd down.
You're damn right. We got to get off the field. Jeff, we got another week of FSP fantasy football coming up, don't we?
Yeah, man. We got week 5.
All right.
Let's get it popping, man. We got the 3-1. Shout out to Big Draco versus 3-1 A Royale with the Cheese. Shout out to Twin and Chaz. This is projected to be a percentage point game by projections. So we'll see. There's 2 3-1 teams right there. Next game we got the 1-3 Coach's Corner. Shout out to Coach. Let's talk about this real quick. Matt Ryan, all he had to do was throw 1 touchdown. And I win last week. 1 touchdown. I lost about 4 points to Coach Wayman. Got his first shout out to Coach Wayman. Got his first win. Half of my team was out due to Corona. But, nothing I can do about it. Coach Wayman got his first win. And shout out to Matt Ryan, just how he do just 1 touchdown. Anyway, Coach Wayman, the 1-3 Coach's Corner versus the 1-3 Show Me Them TDs. Coach Wayman is up right now coming off the Thursday night game, but Show Me Them TDs is projected to win. Got the 3-1. Now watch God versus the 0-4 Vandalay International. One time for Reagan and Sean Wash. Sean Wash is projected to win. Reagan still has Le'Veon Bell in his lineup. Reagan, some people are kind of, we're really playing here. I'm just saying, I know you're listening. Just, yeah, man, just make a change. Le'Veon Bell's not going to score any points. But yeah, so we got the 1-3, the Diplomats. Shout out to Cam versus D. Harris. D. Harris is 3-1, and he's projected to lose this one to Cam. I hope Cam does win that because myself, I am 2-2 because of that crap last week from Matt Ryan, and I'm going against my co-host Weezy. And Weezy, by projections, I'm supposed to win this one pretty easy. Oh wow! I just said by projections. I didn't say anything.
That's not true, Jeff. I just want to clear it all up while everybody's here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about all the listeners and the followers for next year. I will not be playing fantasy football no more. I'm done with it.
Oh wow!
I don't give a shit about it. It's fantasy.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm done with that shit.
Oh wow! Shit twice.
Join the team, Weezy. Join the team, man. I've been trying to tell you to join the team.
I don't want to hold the show up, but what happened?
I'm trying to tell you.
Well, my whole team got, I ain't got no running back, and I'm just not playing. I'm done with this shit. They got coronavirus and shit like that. I had to go. Both of my quarterbacks had coronavirus. How is that possible? Both of my quarterbacks, I had to go get Gardner Minshew to play. Fuck that. I ain't playing.
Well, it's the top. Okay, it was.
See that stress on your face right there, Weezy? That's what I was talking about. That's what I tried to tell you about.
I ain't playing that. I ain't playing no more. It's cool though.
To leave Weezy.
Yeah, I know, and I should have left in. I should have left in with 2 leagues. I should have left in.
That's week 5, man. Predictions of the man. That's tough, Weezy. Y'all just leave me out here by myself, man.
Hey, man, I tried to tell him, man. Woo. I might be back next year. So if I'm playing, Weezy gonna play for sure.
No, I ain't playing.
Speaking of football, let's move on, man, to the Tennessee Titans. The NFL closed both the Tennessee and Minnesota facilities on the 29th of September. What? On 29th September. Anyway, in Minnesota facilities after 8 positive test results for the Titans. Now, the Titans were told players could not gather together for any in-person activities other than at their own home by themselves. Now, the very next day, several members of the virus-stricken team worked out at a local high school. Those Titans, including the quarterback one, Ryan Tannehill, worked out at Montgomery Bell Academy in Nashville after getting permission from coaches at the school. Now, the NFL reportedly has pictures of Titans players not wearing masks while at the team's facility as well. the Titans could be facing a historic punishment for the protocol violation. What will happen to the Tennessee Titans, fellas?
You'll probably get a big boy fine, which I'm completely cool with because that's my team. They knew going into the season, the NFL knew going into the season it's going to be a difficult season, and they put in the proper procedures and what they're supposed to do, and they figured out they got it right. And the team, I think the Titans kind of took it lightly, and you just don't do that with this type of serious situation. So, whatever they do, man, they deserve it. They do.
Titans, they are a reflection of Nashville. Nashville didn't take the virus serious, and you see how Nashville's still in the house. Well, supposed to be, but no one cares. So which is in turn, you see why our football team is the laughing stock of the league because they keep turning up positive tests. Now they got to play my Bills on a Tuesday night, which is insane. But this is crazy. They're going to face. I don't think they're going to lose draft picks. They're going to, face a heavy fine, get to be an embarrassment to the league. But, we'll forget about it once football starts. Once they start back playing, nobody will care. They'll make all the excuses in the world. This is the NFL. As long as they're playing, it's all people care about.
They definitely going to have a huge fine given to them. It just doesn't make any sense, man. And it looks bad when your leader of the team and Ryan Tannehill is out there leading the team and he doesn't have a mask on and he's out there with them. I understand you want to be with your team, but you should at least have the sense to say, hey, we're going out here, we need to have our own masks, at least. Because they wasn't supposed to be out there anyway, because they wasn't supposed to be doing any kind of workouts. But it just looks bad. I'm not going to be surprised if they do take a draft pick, because they're going to want to send a message. And they have to send a message to deter teams from doing it. So I'm not going to be surprised if they do take a draft pick on top of the fine.
Here's the thing, fellas. Like Weezy mentioned, Roger Goodell warned every team that you have to follow these protocols. And this is the thing. There's a loophole. The only way they can get out of this is that the Titans weren't notified prior to that memo that workouts away from the facility were forbidden in the midst of an outbreak. That's the only way, because technically they weren't in violation of the protocol if they didn't know anything about it. So in turn, if they can have a situation where they didn't know that prior to Roger Goodell coming out with that stuff, they're going to get them for millions, multiple draft picks over multiple years. They have to set the statement of, hey, we're not playing with this. This is a big deal. Because if not, man, you got positive tests in New York. You got positive tests with the Raiders. It can go into a situation where we set out 2 or 3 weeks and then people aren't getting paid for some of those missed games. So they said if the Bills and the Titans didn't play this week, no team was going to get paid, neither team. So, hey, man, you got to find a way to make sure this is right.
That would have sucked if you was a Bills player because you didn't do anything and you weren't going to get paid. That would have sucked.
Real quick, before we move on, if you're the Bills, do you protest this game?
Hell no, you don't protest the game. You don't protest the game because you want to play. But the Bills, no, I wouldn't protest the game.
Well, I mean by protesting, I mean like, do you feel like, because the Steelers players are saying the Titans should forfeit their game?
Yeah. Because the Steelers are mad. Big Ben's mad because it messed up their rhythm.
It does. And you mess up your bye weeks.
It messed up their bye weeks. Then they got to play 13 games straight. It messed up their rhythm.
Yeah. So if you're the Bills, why not? I'm not saying I would, but if they came out and said we don't want to do this, we don't feel safe because this team doesn't care about themselves, like this could be a thing, man. I mean, something to think about as the weekend goes on.
Yeah, I'll be more disappointed in the Bills, and it messed up my primetime game. It messed up y'all primetime game. Y'all don't have a Thursday night game now. Y'all gotta wait till the next Sunday to play that game, which is
which is only right because we got to play. We get our primetime game, but it's Tuesday night, which is going to be weird. But you're right. But the game is against Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Exactly.
No disrespect to y'all, but the game is against the Kansas City.
Yeah,
Chiefs.
you want to play that one on primetime.
Absolutely.
But then that's what I'd be upset about.
All right, keeping it in the NFL. We had a coach that didn't make it to week 5 of the NFL before we saw him fired. That is none other than the Houston Texans' Bill O'Brien. Now, he was fired after starting the season 0-4, had been a coach for the last 7 seasons, posting a record of 52-48 with 4 AFC titles and 5 winning seasons. He had been named the GM in 2019, and he's been making questionable moves ever since. He traded away one of the best wide receivers, if not the best receiver, in DeAndre Hopkins, and he didn't get a first-round pick for him. He took over the play calling this past week after 0-3 start, and they still lost. It's also been reported the relationships with his players have been rocky for a while. He's saying that and reported that he had an argument with J.J. Watt and defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver on the practice field and had verbal altercations with other staff members during the final week. They also said he was pushing to bring in Earl Thomas, but the players in the locker room didn't want it to happen. So my question is, was his firing long overdue, right on time, or an overreaction?
I'll go. I think it was overdue. You don't trade away DeAndre Hopkins and not at least get a number one. Like that alone is fireable. Like that's fireable right there. You get a number one pick for DeAndre Hopkins. And in some cases you get 2. You know what I mean? If you get the right team that's desperate enough and and you're trying to make a move, you definitely get 1, let alone 2. So no, that was long overdue. That team, yeah, those 4. No, don't take it the wrong way, Weezy. Those 4 conference titles, division titles, are fool's gold. Though, if you really break down those years they won, those other 3 teams in the division are terrible on a consistent basis. Like lately, the Titans have been the Marcus Mariota years were underperforming. Jacksonville had the 1 year when they had Ramsey and all those guys where that defense was killer. And other than that, luck was hurt. And it was just Deshaun Watson had a chance to win. So, no, dude should have been out of there.
Yeah, I completely agree with what Jeff just said. I didn't know he was a GM too. That what blew me. He made some horrible GM moves. Like how do you get rid of D-Hop? How do you get rid of the defensive end Clowney? How do you get rid of Jonathan Joseph? Like all your players. How do you get rid of all those guys? Yeah, you should have been gone. I'm surprised it was this. I'm surprised it took this long.
Yeah, Bill O'Brien was coaching like he was still at Penn State. He didn't allow players to lead the team. Texas players said assistant coaches seemed like they were often afraid to call out and correct mistakes that he had made on the practice field. All these guys know, listen, everybody's been in a practice before. Practice is where you're supposed to be able to make mistakes so you won't make them in the game. I just don't think it's ever worked in a sports league where the head coach and the GM were the same person. Did not work with Doc, didn't work with Tom Thibodeau. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work, man. He was the leader. Once people tried to rectify or, just kind of challenge him, they were either traded or released. He's one of those dictators. He'll never get another job again in the NFL, and he'll coach college football because that's what he's supposed to do, coach college football.
They say he looking at a job in the NFL.
Never. Nobody's dealing with that again.
Got to have checks and balances in big business. And I get it in college, you can be the CEO and you can call out shots. But when you're a Fortune 500 company like an NFL team, you got to have checks and balances. And what I mean by that is you could be the GM, but you can't also coach. You got to have somebody to tell you what you're doing wrong. So, he should have been gone. Speaking of somebody that should have probably been gone, I think this is your guy, Jay, right? All right. The Washington football team pulled the plug on young Dwayne Haskins. He was benched this week after a lackluster 1-3 start. Should have been 2-2. That Cleveland game probably cost them a lot more than what we want to admit, them losing to Cleveland the way they did. But that's the side point. 1-3 Washington football team. Dan Snyder, Coach Ron Rivera, Riverboat Ron to his friends, decided to pull the plug on young Haskins. But here's the thing. They didn't pull the plug on him and make him the backup. No. Dwayne Haskins was dropped to 3rd string on the Washington football team depth chart behind Kyle Allen, and the remarkable Alex Smith, who somehow still wants to play football after that leg injury. If I was Alex Smith, I probably would be done with football for the rest of my life. But he wants to go out there, and he is second on the depth chart ahead of young Dwayne Haskins. Guys, was this, as Coach Locke would say, too soon, right on time, or an overreaction?
I actually think it was too late. I think it was too late. I mean, let's look at it. Let's look at it. All right, when you see a rookie quarterback, okay, Justin Herbert, we saw him play 2 games. What would we say? Tyrod Taylor ain't getting that job back. He jumps off the screen. He looks like a quarterback in the NFL. We said, let's talk about Joe Burrow. He played 2 games. Joe Burrow looks pretty good. Jumps off the screen at you. Dwayne Haskins. He played a whole season last year, and we're still. I think it was a good.
I got one name for you. If I'm going to cut about it, I got one name for you.
Okay.
What about Josh Allen? Because you took that same. Now, hear me out. If you take that same approach with Josh Allen, that first year of Josh Allen, he was bad, and I mean bad. You take that same approach with him, he's gone. Now, everybody on this call but me loves Josh Allen this year. But if you take that same approach with Josh Allen after the first year going to year 2 and pull the plug on him after 3 or 4 games, because he didn't jump off the screen at nobody.
But he this year, he didn't. Okay, you're right. He's on the screen, but he developed. His mechanics are a whole lot better this year.
Okay, all right. We'll talk later. But I got to argue with that though. Just with that one part that you say right there.
First of all, Dwayne Haskins didn't play enough last year for him to increase and get better to make those jumps. Second of all, everybody you named, Herbert, Burrow, they have a weapon. Give me Dwayne Haskins' weapon. Who is he going to throw the ball to? His line is not good. The team he doesn't have anything. If I'm running for my life, yes, to me, he's doing the best he can, and he should be 2-2.
Joe Burrow is the second most sacked quarterback in the league right now.
Yeah, but he has weapons to throw to still.
Who's his weapon?
He has AJ Green, first of all.
Got T. Higgins, and he got
Tyler
come on,
Higgins
man.
is a
He got
rookie.
Boyd.
Give me that. T. Higgins is
He
a
got
rookie.
Joe Mixon.
He has weapons. Give me Dwayne Haskins' weapons. Who you got?
Second year player, the wide receiver.
Terry?
Yes.
Who?
That's who you banking on?
Who?
That's a weapon.
You banking on Terry McLaurin, dog?
Okay.
Is he better than Keenan Allen?
No.
Is he better than Austin Eckler? Is he better than Mike Williams?
No.
Is he? Come on.
That's what I'm saying. Those are weapons.
Name the Bengals player like that.
We just named him.
Tyler Boyd, who had
Thank you.
10 catches for 124 yards 2 games ago, dog.
And he has a running back.
And he got Joe Mixon. Give me the starting running back in Washington.
Okay.
It's P-Ryan. P-Ryan's the starting running back.
So yeah, no.
So y'all think Dwayne Haskins still should be in there as a starter?
Yes.
I'm taking him over Kyle Allen or Alex Smith.
Because what are they going to come? Okay, the people they putting in, what are they going to do better that he's doing?
Nothing. Nothing.
But okay, this is the way they're looking at it, guys. That division is so bad. They still have a chance to win that division right now. So why not make a change now? Why not make a change now, and we still have a chance to win the division?
Because if them quarterbacks were good enough to do it, they would have got the starting job anyway.
No, we gave the person that was good. We gave the person good enough to do it the starting job.
I think you're giving them too much credit. I don't think they want to win the division. I think they're pulling the plug on him because they want to get the kid from Clemson or another kid in the draft.
Here's the thing, y'all. This kid had 11 starts total over 2 seasons. We know as well as I know. Listen, man, you got to have at least 16 games as a starter before you pull the plug on a kid that you drafted in the first round. That's it. He's in a brand new system with no offseason. And with that said system, you got a young offensive line with limited weapons. No weapons. Only 4 games into a season.
Okay, go ahead.
He's technically still a rookie. You got rid of your entire offensive line. Trent Williams isn't there anymore. Now, granted, what got him yanked because he was bragging after his good game in week 4. That's what got his ass yanked. He was super playful, laughing around after you just got your ass beat by the Ravens. You can't do that. But Haskins was never Ron Rivera's guy. This was Daniel Snyder's guy. He's a hometown guy. He wanted Chase Young. They're local kids. His guy is Kyle Allen. He was his backup quarterback in Carolina. It's never good for a player to not get reps. Just like Jeff mentioned with Josh Allen, you have to let these kids develop. Josh Rosen never developed. You are ruining the potential of kids if you yank them early like that. The kid is done now. He'll never play in Washington again. And it's a testament of bad leadership the way that they did this kid.
I ain't gonna say that, but I don't know.
Point me to a lie. That's all I'm saying. What a lie at? Point me to the lie that anybody said on this about Josh Allen. I mean, not Josh Allen.
Dwayne.
About Dwayne Haskins.
Y'all ready for y'all ready to get ready for halftime?
Let's get it.
Let's go.
Let's go to halftime.
We're at the midway point. Enjoy all of the halftime festivities.
Halftime, in case you missed it. Now, former Wichita State forward Shaq Morris stated that he was punched twice by his then head coach Gregg Marshall during a 2015 practice. Now, following that incident, Morris and multiple players said that team leader Fred VanVleet, currently who plays for the Toronto Raptors, told an assistant that the players would not practice following the day that Marshall attacked Morris, and unless he apologized, they weren't playing the rest of the year. Now, Marshall also allegedly choked assistant coach Kyle Lindstedt during the 2016-17 season, and 3 eyewitnesses confirmed these allegations. Now, the incidents involving Morris and Lindstedt were part of numerous allegations of physical and verbal abuse by Marshall against members of the Wichita State program. More than 30 former and current members of the basketball program testified against Marshall. During its 6 months investigation, those players were contacted. Can Gregg Marshall survive this?
Nah, man, you can't be out here putting your hands on people like that. Like that's insane. Like that guy needs like prayer and anger management.
Why did this take so long to get out? That's what I want to know.
Now, he needs an ass whooping. That's what he needs. Ain't no way an assistant coach, the head coach is going to come and try and choke me. Nah, we finna go at it right here. I don't care who's sitting around. I don't care what players is right here. I don't care what president is right here. You're going to take this ass whooping, and then you can let me go, and I just go on and get another job somewhere. But you're not finna choke me. I'm a grown man just like you a grown man. We're not doing that.
Nah, for sure. The allegations are troubling, man. If he punched the kid or choked the coach, he crossed that line, and he's done. You have to learn from your mistakes. Bobby Knight, the coach from Rutgers, had these problems. St. John's, like, there have been situations where you're supposed to learn from people's mistakes. Gregg Marshall did not. He will make it past this because Wichita State's basketball program is the upper echelon of mid-majors. But let me tell you something. If it's another person that comes out and says anything, I'm talking about one more allegation, whether that's from a former player or a current player, he's cooked and he'll never coach again.
I definitely think it's more. If that happened with just that, it's been more than definitely.
They use the word maniac to describe Gregg Marshall, so there will be more.
For sure. But his early years gonna come back to get him.
100%. It's fair. I just don't understand why people don't learn from people's mistakes, man. Because if it's not, it's too many wake-up calls, and coaches will continue to do this. I understand. Kids piss you off. You know, you have allegations and stuff. That happens all the time. Hey, listen, sometimes I want to smack the shit out of Weezy. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. I literally can't do that. It's just not good. You know?
Second half, y'all.
Let's get started in a second. I'm sure he wants to smack me. Here's the thing, though, real quick. I think he wants to smack me more than I want to smack him. Yeah, guess what?
Damn right. I thought about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. But you ain't did it, and you will never do that.
Second half.
Let's go, Jeff. Let's go to the second half.
Let's go to the second half, guys.
The second half is underway.
Second half, the 2020 NBA playoff winners and losers show. Before we get started, I am J-Ho.
It's your boy, Big Jeff.
It's your boy, Weezy. What it do?
It's your man, Coach Lock.
Coach Locke, the NBA bubble in Orlando is all but over. There will be a champion crowned in the coming days. By the time you probably hear this, LeBron James will win his 4th NBA championship. But that doesn't mean only a single team will have a reason to celebrate the Orlando experience. Which players and coaches had the most successful time in the bubble? Which players dropped the ball? We will assess both, everything in between, as we break down the postseason's biggest winners and losers. Let's kick it off, man. Playoff winners, Weezy. Who you got? Who's your first person?
My first winner is the Milwaukee Bucks, man. When they started the movement and protest that game, I think they started the movement. It shook the whole sports world up. A lot of sports training, like football training camps, copied did the same thing. Baseball didn't play that night. WNBA didn't play that night. Shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks. That's my first winner for the bubble.
All right, I'm gonna go with one of Jay's guys. It always hurts me to have to go with one of his guys just because it's, you know what you do. So it's gonna be Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. would have been a number 1 pick fresh out of college. If there was no injuries to his freshman year in college to his back and things like that. And right now, throughout the playoffs, he showed that he's supposed to be where he's supposed to be there. Like one of the prominent players in the league. He's going to be there for years to come. I'm just happy to see the kid playing. Hope he can stay injury free and, learn to put a little effort on defense. He'll be all right.
And sucker free, too. He does a lot. He says a lot of sucker shit. So it's the vegetarian way he was raised. So.
I wasn't going to go there with it, but, that's your man. So you can do that. You can do that.
I'm going to go with Jeremy Grant with the Denver Nuggets. He's played great in the playoffs. He was a guy responsible for holding LeBron and Kawhi in their matchups with the Lakers and the Clippers. He showed at times that he would be able to score the ball. He had his game where he carried the team basically in whatever games that they won. And he's played himself into some money. He opted out of his $9.3 million option, and he's expected to get paid, which would probably be somewhere around $16 million. The teams that are possibly going to get him, you have the Hornets, the Hawks, and the Pistons as possible landing spots. So I have Jeremy Grant as a winner for playing himself into more money.
Sure. I have Adam Silver, man. The idea of the 2019-20 NBA season resuming at any point, I was putting house money on that. Not gas money, but house money. And what did they do, man? These guys pushed through. And that's to Adam Silver and the NBA's credit. We're currently in the middle of a historic run with the NBA without a hitch. Now, the league deserves some credit for extreme challenges that were faced. It wasn't perfect. They had to go through a mass quarantine. They also had to go through social injustice. But the way that Adam Silver, who's coming up on his 7th year as the NBA commissioner, manages crisis with relative ease, closing up on a historic run, man, you have to tip your hat to Adam Silver and his team for what they did with the NBA and to keep sports alive, for sure. Weezy, who you got? What's another winner for you, buddy?
My next winner was Luka Doncic, man. Luka Doncic, man. The way he came out and went toe-to-toe with the Clippers, dropped 40 points before he got hurt. I think he still would have been playing right today if he wouldn't have got hurt. Luka Doncic.
Let's temper that a little bit. They would have lost in the second round, but it was a fun story. They would have lost to Denver, but it would have been a fun story to see.
Weezy, he don't know that, dude.
Nah, he don't know that.
Yeah, he don't know that.
Oh no, I know that. They lost.
You don't know. What you say, Weezy? He don't know that, and you don't either.
You don't. Yep.
Joker would have had a field day on them. And I mean, we're gonna put Boban on Joker. Man, get out of here. Anyway, my next winner would have been Eric Spoelstra. Eric Spoelstra has somehow coached himself into being regarded as one of the better coaches of this era, and possibly going down as one of the greatest ever, when really he has just benefited from LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and things like that. Like I said, does he do some good things here and there? Sure. A couple of great rotations. Tyler Hero is playing out of his mind. Great. But when's the last time the Miami Heat won 50 games? Anybody?
When LeBron James played.
Exactly. So, yes, they're in the finals right now, but this team turned it on, taking off the leadership from their leader. I'm pretty sure someone's going to talk about him a little bit later. But Eric Spoelstra is going to be regarded as one of the greatest coaches of our time, when really he's one of the greatest beneficiaries of one of our time. And there's nothing wrong with that. But shout out to him.
I kind of was on the same page with you, Jeff, but I went more of a bubble of players: Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, and Spo. The reason why you have players like Jimmy Butler, who people had written off. They got him out of Philly, said he wasn't a good leader, said he was a cancer for the team, but he goes to Miami, he has them in the finals. Yes, they're down 3-1, but they have those injuries. Then you have Tyler Hero, who you mentioned. Nobody saw him playing like this early as a rookie. Youngest player ever to score 30-plus points in the conference finals. And then you have Bam Adebayo. Everybody thought Bam was just your defensive player that's going to rebound and play defense. But now he's been on the national stage and showing people that he actually can play, and he has offensive moves and an offensive game too. So Spo, Tyler Hero, Bam, and Butler were my winners.
It is an Eric Spoelstra love fest. Those who aren't quite paying attention paint a lazy narrative of Eric Spoelstra like Jeff just did. They claim that he rode LeBron and company's coattails with that big three. But you lose Dwayne Wade. You lose Chris Bosh to the blood clot after you give him $100 million. And you still stay afloat from 2014 to 2019. There was little evidence still that Spoelstra could lead a championship contender without a superstar. This season is evidence enough. Like Coach Locke said, Jimmy Butler exceeded every expectation. He was kicked out of 3 teams prior to, and now Spoelstra is ready to push this narrative all the way to a Hall of Fame career as a really, really good coach, man. This team's tough and adaptable, but it's built in Spoelstra's image, and pulling off this bubble run has been great for his resume. And now I finally can give Eric Spoelstra the credit he deserves.
Eric Spoelstra.
Shout out to Eric Spoelstra, man. Weezy, what's up? Another winner for him. Let's hear it.
Another winner for me was the Denver Nuggets, man. The Joker, Jamal Murray. They put on a show. A lot of people don't watch them things. They play late night, but they put on an absolute. Jamal Murray put on an absolute. And Joker put an absolute show on the bubble. Show. Made me fans of both of them.
My next winner, I'm going to keep it in Miami and say the Miami franchise. They're going to be a destination for free agents going forward. You got the cap space. You got the young players. You got a budding superstar in Bam. You got a leader in Jimmy Butler who is hard-nosed. And for some reason, they're still paying Udonis Haslem to play basketball, even though he's really just an extension of a coach. And Eric Spoelstra, they're probably listening to Udonis more than they listen to Spoelstra. So if you're a free agent right now and you're looking for something that has it already there for you, and you got Dragic as a point guard, I believe he's a free agent coming out of this year, though, so they may have to pay him coming up. But if you're a free agent and you're looking for something that's ready-made for you, you're going to Miami, man. You're going to Miami.
I'm on the same page with Weezy, man, except I went with Jamal Murray. He redeemed himself from the 2019 playoffs. Everybody said he did what he did in the regular season, then he got in the playoffs and he laid the goose egg. Well, this playoff, he showed that he can be the number one option or the co-star with Jokic. He's a big reason the Nuggets came back from being down 3-1 and sent the Clippers home, who were favorites to win the entire thing. Not just the Western Conference, but the entire finals. He averaged 26.5 points, 4.8 rebounds, 6.6 assists, and shot 50% from the field and 45% from the three in the playoffs. Jamal Murray, that's how you come out the party.
Most definitely, man. I owe Jamal Murray an apology. This kid was, when they gave him that extension a year ago, I was thinking, is he worth $170 million? The deal now is a no-brainer. No-brainer now. He entered the playoff as a second solid piece. Just a solid little second piece to go alongside Jokic. And he shattered those expectations for sure. He just didn't thrive in the shadow of Jokic. He created his own shadow. And I heard people say he's the next Stephen Curry or Steph Curry in the process. Great value Steph Curry. I heard a lot of that. And he sent home some of your favorite players with step backs, Michael Jordan-esque layups. I owe him an apology, man. This kid can play. Bright future in Denver. He enters 2021, though, with the target on his back. All-star expectations, rightfully so. He was one of the more exciting players of the entire bubble, man. So shout out to Jamal Murray. Coach likes guys. Coach likes guys. It was a J love fest, with Michael Porter Jr., Luka Doncic. We got to spread. Hey, somebody's got to get something right, and Coach he pulled it off. That's his guy.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, for sure. It was a low-hanging fruit, though. What we got? Weezy, another winner.
Whoa. Michael Porter Jr. He's predicted to be the number 1 pick before he got hurt.
He went, bro. Nobody was. I ain't even gonna do that. It ain't.
He was Was he not the top player in high school?
He didn't play a game in high school. Coach, he played 6 minutes in high school, in college.
But was he not the number 1 player coming into college?
Did he? How many games he play?
It don't matter. They knew what he was gonna be.
Bro, Jamal Murray went 7th overall. Not a far. You didn't go too far for that one.
I'm just saying you didn't go too far either.
What you got, Weezy?
Oh man, I like that. I went with LeBron James and the Lakers, man. It's a bright spot. Them boys played through the death of Kobe Bryant. They played through the Black Lives Matter movement. They played through LeBron James being very vocal about the Black Lives Matter movement. And somehow they kept it together. And they're really doing a historic thing in the bubble by only losing 1 game in each series. And they didn't play at all for 5 months. And now they're still probably going to win the championship. Shout out to the Lakers, man. And LeBron James for keeping that team together. With a bunch of egos on that team, too. Like, he got Rondo. He got, what's Just Boy? Dwight Howard. All the boys on there, man. He even got J.R. Smith. My God.
My guy's Deion Waiters.
Deion Waiters?
That's my guy.
Look at all them knuckleheads on that team. He kept them all straight. The main knucklehead is J.R. Smith, though, but that's another story. That's another story.
My next winner is going to be Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry had a knock for being a playoff disappointment, disappeared in the playoffs. This year, and a little bit last year too, but definitely this year, he outplayed other players on his team with people who were saying they're going to take his position. He outplayed them. He had big moments on offense and defense, and he didn't shy away from the big shots or shy away from being in the big moments. Kyle Lowry, man, he stepped up, and in the last 2 years, he's becoming he's always been a big part of that team, but now he's justifying being those all-star selections and things like that. Shout out to Kyle Lowry.
My next winner is Anthony Davis. Kind of what Weezy talked about with the Lakers, but this is Anthony Davis' first time playing meaningful playoff basketball, and he is not disappointed. He dominates the floor on both ends, offensive and defensively. He carried the Lakers at times when LeBron was struggling or couldn't get it going and the other players wasn't making shots. He gave you those 40-point games. He carried them through the playoffs. He even has a chance to be Finals MVP. So this was Anthony Davis coming out party in the playoffs because the knock on him was, he's really good, but he couldn't lead his team to the playoffs. When he did get to the playoffs, they would exit early. So this is his first time getting this meaningful basketball, and he's taking full advantage of it.
Most definitely, man. I got LeBron James, man. LeBron Ramon James closing in on his 10th NBA Finals appearance in 17 years being in the league, y'all. Listen what I'm saying. Now, I'm not the biggest LeBron James apologist. Lord knows this. Everybody knows this. But what he's done in the bubble with no fans, LeBron James has played in front of fans ever since he was in the 9th grade. He played Akron. He was in a situation where they had to move the shit all the way to the University of Akron. He's been playing in front of people. It's hard to make that adjustment. And especially, I've seen some of our favorite players, including my favorite basketball player, Kobe Bryant, playing at 35 years old. And it didn't look like this. Now, granted, Kobe Bryant had major injuries with an Achilles all the way to a broken wrist and also his shoulder, of course. So with that being said, LeBron James has carried this team to the end of the finish line. He wins another championship this year. He puts himself into a different stratosphere. I don't give a damn if – now, listen, Steph Curry ruined – this great career, 100%, because he's been to the finals, 3-6 in the finals. If you beat those Steph Curry led teams,
Kevin
it would have
Durant.
been a different. What'd you say?
Kevin Durant led team.
No, Steph Curry led teams. You see who's still there. That's the reason why. If it was a situation why if it was Kevin Durant's team, he would still be there. He's talking about finishing his career in Brooklyn with a fucking weirdo. Anyway, let's go back to LeBron James. He's continuing to keep this going, man. If I was him, I would end on top, man. I promise you. I think if I was, this is me. I know they're going to get one more player, preferably DeMar DeRozan. Maybe, find a way to get the money to get Chris Paul. But I'm getting one more ring out of this, and I'm out of here, man. I don't want to see LeBron James low tide. I want to see him playing at the level that he's in right now at 35. Because, man, to get a Finals MVP, the way he's about to get a Finals MVP, now he's padding the stats. I get it. But he is the MVP of this Finals, and he deserves everything coming to him, man. I hate LeBron James, but I like LeBron James, the person, for sure. Let's move right along. You got another
word.
Yeah,
hate is such a strong word.
Yeah, I'm good, Jay. Because y'all mentioned Luke. I mean, y'all mentioned.
Yeah, I also had Jeremy Grant as well. Just don't want to overkill the list.
Right. I got one more.
Okay, go ahead.
This is gonna sound like we are the world kumbaya type of thing, but the NBA players and the coaches and like the staffs, the fact that they committed to doing this, entertaining us and giving us this, being away from their families for this long, and not having the problems that every other professional league has had, other than hockey, right? In the WNBA that did bubbles, everybody else has had problems, and we're talking about the NFL's problems right now. But the NBA started this, and is going to finish this with no outbreaks, no issues, no anything. They should be commended for that. That's another one.
Shout out to them.
Let's do it. Let's move right along to the losers, Weezy. Give me your first loser.
My first loser, man, he never got a chance to play, was Jamal Crawford, man. Jamal Crawford never, like, he signed for the team, going to play for the Brooklyn Nets, and got hurt, like, in training camp, in practice. I hate that for Jamal Crawford. That was my first loser, Jamal Crawford, man.
He would have cooked in the bubble, too, because this is wide open basketball. He'd be fun to watch. My first loser is Brad Stevens in the Boston front office. Like, I want to trade those picks for Anthony Davis because you were afraid he wasn't going to stay. Now you're looking like, team hasn't done anything that you couldn't have done without him, with him. Then you got rid of Kyrie because Kyrie was a locker room cancer. Haven't done shit without him. So what are you doing?
They got further without Kyrie than with him.
And the words of my great barber, the best barber in Nashville, is he always says, "Well, show me the baby. Hey, you had the baby. You've been pregnant a couple times. You got to show me the baby. They ain't got the baby. They ain't had the baby yet."
Say that for a lot of people. Russell Westbrook he had a bunch of. He had no babies.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
He ain't even got. But he can't even. Never mind.
But he also is not a wonder kid coach that everyone is touting as one of the greatest minds in the sport of basketball and this, that, and the third. Show it to me. Well, you got the talent, show it to me. He ain't did nothing. He did a thing. Ain't gonna do a thing. With him, they ain't gonna do nothing.
He kind of handcuffed though, because how do we know Brad Stevens didn't want to make them picks and Danny Ainge didn't?
That's why I said the coach in the front office. I said the coach in the front office. Yeah.
Real quick, Coach. The Boston Celtics are cursed for what they did to Isaiah Thomas, and no good will come to them until they successfully complete the reverse of that curse.
Reverse the curse.
Reverse the curse, he said. My first loser is none other than Weezy's boy, Danny Green.
Hey, my boy.
He has not been the consistent 3-and-D player they needed him and wanted him to be. He's shooting 35% from the field and 31% from the three-point line in the bubble. He's always getting the open looks that they brought him there to make, and he's not making them, it seems like. It seems like every time they're playing the game and he shoots the ball, he's missing. Yeah, he's made a few shots, but Danny Green, you were there to make shots. That was your job. Make shots, play defense, and you are not doing it. You can't be getting those open looks shooting 31% from the three. Danny Green, you are a loser.
I completely agree with you on that one, Coach.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Danny Green stunk it the hell up. Another loser for me. Well, my first loser. Chicago Bulls, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Philadelphia 76ers. It's been a well documented, but Jimmy Butler left each of his past destinations on a less than joyous note. After getting Philly to the brink of a championship, you trade him to the Heat. Sign and trade. You go with Al Horford and Tobias Harris instead. What does Jimmy Butler do? He just takes a team of castaways and people that, aren't really ready to play, Luther Curl type team, and gives them solid chemistry, good character, and a great coach that can get you past the level that you want to go to. This is the internet where, Twitter exists. And we have looked and trashed every stop that Jimmy Butler's went to. It was like, man, Jimmy might be a bad teammate. It was never the situation was that. It was Karl Anthony Towns. It was a trash ass Chicago team that we had, and it was the soft light skin of Ben Simmons that got him out of those jurisdictions. And now you see the real Jimmy Butler, man. So shout out to Jimmy Butler and my Bulls, man. We'll find a way, won't we?
That's how I will.
Yeah. What you got, Weezy? You got another loser?
I do the another loser for me was the Los Angeles Clippers. We're gonna start with that one with Lemon Pepper Lou though. Lemon Pepper Lou kicked that off. He had to spend an extra 10 days in the quarantine because he went to a strip club. Then they just came back to the Clippers. They was doing good and it just fell apart. And I mean, Coach Paul George, it just fell apart. They lost in the game 7. They went 2 series to a game 7, and they finally lost one. So the Clippers, man, it's my loser.
Yeah, we got robbed of that Battle of LA that was hyped up all year. That would have been nice to see. So definitely, I agree, Weezy. My next winner, and this should have been number 1 on my list, and I apologize. Russell Westbrook. Russ, he's in Houston for one reason, and the way that team was constructed, Russ had to play one way. He had to give up the jump shot, give up the 3 ball, and play the point center. I've been talking about this the whole second half of the year. Russ had to do that. Russ contracted COVID before the bubble, and then he was injured during the play-in games, right? He comes back from that injury and reverted back to bad Russ. He started shooting jump shots, started having turnovers, didn't play smart basketball, and that cost Houston a lot. For that experiment to work, Russ had to play a certain way. He had to get rebounds, he had to space the floor, and he had to find the open man. When they were doing that, they were fine. And they could hang with anything. You can say what you want to say, but that team can hang with anybody when Russ played that way. But when he came back, once they got past the first round, they got past Oklahoma City in 7 games. Should have been over with in 5, but they had to go 7 games. Then they had to run into the Lakers. Once they had to do that, Russ reverted back to bad Russ, man. It happens.
I couldn't agree more with Weezy and Jeff. I both had the Rockets as losers and the Clippers and Paul George. So I will go to another loser I had, which was Kemba Walker. He was brought to Boston to be the scorer and closer that they needed. They looked for him in closeout games, and he didn't show up becoming the Kemba Walker they thought he would be. They had big leads in all the games in the conference finals against the Heat, but they could never finish the deal because they didn't have anyone to close out. Jason Tatum, yeah, he had a game or 2 where he would do it, but when he's not doing it, you need Kemba Walker to step up and do it. And he just couldn't make the shots in the end. Yeah, he averaged 19, 20 points, but the clutch ones that they needed him to make, and they brought him there for, he didn't live up to that name. So Kemba Walker, I have you as a loser.
Yeah, that cardiac Kimber shit is over with. We didn't talk enough about Paul George, y'all. Listen what I'm trying to tell you. Listen, Paul George, and I've been on this show 6, 7 years, man, in sports, just talking. I was a major fan of Paul George. I have always been a Paul George apologist. He's a top 5 to 10 player in the league when he's playing at his level. It was never a question. When he goes to the Clippers, it's like, oh my God, it's over. They have a squad. You put Lou Will, you put Pat Bev, add some Morris twin in there, and you got Montrezl Harrell. For Paul George to show up and score 10 points in a closeout game, 4 for 16 shooting, and people from Indianapolis say this all the time. Paul George ain't really like that. And I would be like, no. It's just a bad team. He didn't have enough around him. He needed more. He needed some help. It don't matter. And then you go into a situation where you nickname yourself Playoff P and you don't show up in the playoffs. Cut the lights out for this dude. And he's talking about, hey, I want to go somewhere and be a number 2 or number 3. Man, dude, you are I got to bring back Coach Brown because you are the bum of the bubble. You're the bum of the bubble, dog. It's been and he's going to have to hear this shit for the next 6 months. We ain't seeing no basketball until damn January, February. He is done. You pack it up. You think depression going to hit you then when you was in that bubble? Depression going to hit you now because you just let the entire NBA down. I don't know anybody that's going to take up for you. You got Doc fired. I got to talk about that too. They got my dog out of there. We're going to get to that.
Another loser for me was it was so bad that I think they got rid of him. I didn't hear him towards the end of the bubble. It was Chris Webber. Chris Webber. I mean, this was your time to shine, dog. You know, it wasn't gonna be no crowd there. It was gonna be just you. Like, come on, let's go. Prepare yourself. And like Jay said, you let me down. You let me down. You didn't have a good show. You didn't go like Jay just tell me somebody would have got fired behind that. Like you didn't do good, Chris Webber. And not only did we know it, shit, everybody know it. He know, like Charlo said, he know, she know, all know. Everybody know it, man. Chris Webber, my goodness.
Chris Webber make you watch the game with no sound, man. He just every time he's on there. But that's funny, Weezy. But you're right. You're right. My next loser is, again, this probably should have been first too. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Oh, you 2-time MVP, you most undeserved 2-time MVP since Steve Nash. My goodness, man. The fact that you're in the Eastern Conference, I had this argument this week. He's Kevin Love. He's Chris Bosh. Same thing. Anthony Davis before he found LeBron James. You put those players on that Milwaukee Bucks team, same thing happens. Kevin Love, Minnesota, goes to Milwaukee in the East, looks the same way. Chris Bosh, if he'd had the time, if he didn't smartly leave Toronto and go play with Dwayne Wade and LeBron and form the Heatles, same thing.
Karl Anthony Towns, maybe?
He's looking that way. Karl Anthony Towns, but Karl Anthony Towns is going to have a team this year. He's going to have he got a point guard. They got a good draft pick. They have zero excuses going into next year. So that's a whole other story. But Giannis, as Weezy call him, Giannis as Weezy call him. Hey man, I've been saying this for years. People call me a hater. People say what they want to say. Show me. That's it.
What Manny say, Jeff?
It ain't funny no more. It ain't funny no more. Hey, that's all I'm saying.
You right, Jeff, man. You always say it. that Giannis look funny in the light.
Yeah.
It's good right now, but you didn't ever see it, and you were right. You were definitely right. And I had him as a loser. The Bucks came out the East as favorites, posting the best record in the NBA, and then you lose in the second round to the Celtics. And not only do you lose, but you lose 4-1. Not even close. You can't make it close. Can't go game 7. Giannis, I know you got hurt, but that wasn't an excuse. This was before. Don't make no sense. Y'all are not supposed to have the best record in the NBA and then get beat in the second round 4-1. Yeah, I know you was off, but everybody was off. Everybody's playing in the bowl. No pressure. Chris Middleton was playing great. So what was the problem? Giannis, man, you're going to have to make some noise next year or you're going to be on that list.
Sure. Let's shit on the Bucks then, man. I got Mike Budenholzer. Here's the thing. Coach Bud, we've seen this story before. The Atlanta Hawks had the best record in the entire Eastern Conference. He got 4 people go to the damn All-Star game, and you lose in the same round. He did not use your 2-time MVP the way that you're supposed to do. It puzzles me to this day that he only played 30 minutes in an entire game. Like, you have a MVP playing 30 minutes a game with no rotation, with no situation where you adjust to the Miami Heat and what they do. He remains to be an impressive coach. I understand. And the regular season success means little at this point. The same way it happened to him in Atlanta. He is now have the hottest hot seat in the entire Eastern Conference, man. I'm telling you what, you have to get creative with the Antetokounmpo, or he's leaving, and the rest of that roster, or you're going to be packed up, just like how you were packed up out of Atlanta, for sure. Any other loser? All right, I got one more, man. It will be James Harden, not Russell Westbrook. The Rockets squandered another year of Harden's prime, 2019-2020. Here's the thing. The story has always been somebody else. It was Melo. I say this every show. It was Carmelo Anthony. Oh, it was Chris Paul. Oh, now it's Russell Westbrook's fault. You got my guy on this damn show blaming his own boy to be the reason as to why the Rockets didn't prosper. Hello, this fucker didn't show up. He didn't show up. He's been eliminated in the second round in back-to-back years. He struggled to make an impact whatsoever on an off-ball shooter or a cutter. He was muted by all standards. Yeah, he still got 29, but they still lost in the second round. And what they're going to do is blame Russell Westbrook's playoff shortcomings because of this doofus of a basketball player. He was at the turkey leg hut the exact next weekend. He's ready to kick it. He has a stripper jersey retired. He's a doof. He's a doof of a basketball player. He's a doof of a fan. Like, to watch basketball and watch this dude, it's terrible. He is the Chris Webber of basketball players. That's it. Pack him the hell up. Get him up out of here, man. I can't wait to a situation where we finally flip the script and blame him like we blaming Giannis, like we blaming Coach Bud. Let's look at it. It's right in front of our face. What did CP do when he left? Prosper. What did Melo do when he left? Prosper. What was Russell Westbrook before that? A fucking MVP. Now we got in situations where we packing Russell Westbrook up. We sending him out to pasture. Oh, he's done. He can't do shit. He goes, plays in New York next year. He'll look just like Russell Westbrook of old. It's James fucking Harden.
And there you have it.
I had another loser, but I'm not going after that. Nope.
You see what I'm saying, though, Jeff? You see how you got yourself? You blaming your own guy, man. It ain't his damn fault. It's that fool.
I'm going to close my notebook.
Yeah. I sure don't know if that turkey leg hut picture was recent or not.
It was recent. He had on the James Harden 5s.
You a real sneaker dude because you can spot out the James Harden 5. Tell you right now, James Harden have on the James Harden 10s, and I wouldn't know what the hell them look like. Bitch is gonna be real.
He's a sorry sack of shit, man. And Weezy, he's gonna disappoint you every time. He do it every year. Oh, James Harden in the regular season, he cooking. He's prolific. And then you'll call me. Ring, ring. Man, you watching James Harden? I can't believe this shit. Jay, you tell me every year. And he do this shit to me every year. You know what? I'm done with him. Fuck James Harden. Fuck him.
At least go 50 in the regular season again.
And it goes back to the regular season. He's doing this shit. You see you see James Harden? You see the beard? I bought a backwards t-shirt because of him.
Oh shit.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's another show in the books, man. We appreciate everybody pulling up, man. That's probably the last basketball talk. Listen, Jeff, do you see how we righted our wrongs on this? I'm giving LeBron James credit. Listen, I'm giving him credit. You publicly shaming Russell Westbrook. It's coming full circle, man. Full damn circle.
2020, man. 2020.
That's definitely 2020.
Coach, like you damn right, boy. I tell you what, Coach. You're the wisdom of this show. Boy, I tell you, you're my only friend. I always tell you that. The only damn friend I got. The only, boy, I'm finna cry. I tell you what, the only damn friend I got. I depend on it. In Houston, I should say, Coach, goddamn,
Man, come on with this
Just real
shit.
quick, because Weezy can't depend on Weezy. I can't even get wings.
Man, come on with this
I can't even get wings from Weezy. Listen, I can't even get wings. I can't even get a damn thing. I ain't have AC in my car, and you couldn't get me wings. I never forget that. Listen, dog. I be like, Coach, like I'm gonna be real, dog.
Come on, Joe.
I'm on the side of the road. Coach, like in Houston, Texas. If it was a situation where nobody in the world would come get me, Coach Light would drive from Houston, Texas to pick me up, bro.
But Coach, he wouldn't do it for you, Coach. He wouldn't go get your ball from Brick Church. He wouldn't go get your damn ball from Brick Church.
You know why? Because it was your dumb ass fault to listen. I ain't picking up no shit from you. Now, tweet us with questions throughout the week at Full Sport Press. Don't forget to comment, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the YouTube page, on the iTunes page. Please rate and subscribe. But more importantly, man, don't forget to tell a friend, a real friend.
Tell your only friend.
Yeah, Weezy.
Everything paid for, right?
Damn right, Jeff.
The camera is always on.
Coach like my only friend.
You definitely got to get a drummer song.
You damn right, man. The revolution will be podcasted. Cameraman, we are out.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
For listening to the Full Sport Press podcast page, and don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend.
Purchase your track today.